Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A. We go over all the latest news that happened during the week of mobile and answer your questions live. If you have any questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer them before the end of the show. Alright guys, we have a lot of stuff that broke this week, so let's get to it. First of all, definitely has to be the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra. This one is pretty big because we were not expecting an Ultra. Now, if you guys do remember, last time we did have a different kind of tablet, and that is the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus, which was a 12.4-inch display tablet, which is apparently now going to be a smaller or really mid-sized tablet, according to Samsung, because we are supposedly getting a 14.6-inch tablet. How? Why? That's a very, very interesting question. So definitely, oh, sorry, just have someone that needs to be banned here. And there we go. All right. So this is pretty crazy in itself for sure. So a 14.6-inch tablet is a ridiculous size in my opinion. I did want a bigger screen for sure than the 10-inch and even 11-inch we've had gotten in the past. But to get a 14.6-inch, it's really just like, why are we getting something that big? And does anyone want something that big? So, in terms of weight, it'll be about 100 grams, or 80 grams basically, 75 grams bigger than the current 12.4-inch design. It will have, starting off with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gig for the smaller variant, and then 12 gigs and 512 storage for the bigger variant. And there will be no 12 gig of RAM version for the 12-inch as well. Cameras, it's going to have an ultra wide added to it as opposed to the regular camera. So again, I don't know why, because if anything, you would really kind of want to have a difference. I mean, the ultra wide, the idea behind it is that they're going to do it in the front camera. So I guess that they're going to make it better, but why not make an 8 megapixel ultra wide? Why restrict it to a 5 megapixel? I mean, granted, it will be much better than any other one in the smaller range for ultra wide, but I think they're trying to compete with iPad Pro and that new following technology that they put in there. They're going to have quad speakers. They're going to have all that kind of stuff. In terms of battery as well, you're going to get a 12,000 milliamp battery. We're talking about a power bank, basically. And I wonder if Samsung will put that feature, like have the tablet be able to charge other electronics. I think would be a really cool prospect of being able to use that. So I think that would be really cool. Let me know what you guys think. It is also going to be thinner, apparently, than the previous tablets, which is kind of interesting. I think they want to just keep it as thin as possible. But again, I'm afraid because of how big it is, are you going to get the same bend stuff that we got with the first like iPhones that really started bending and the first iPads that really started bending when they became too thin? So again, we'll have to wait and see for that, but it's one thing that I'm definitely worried about when it comes to that aspect. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, this is really a huge difference in comparison, and I think they are trying to play to Android's strengths, which is Android has the strength of being the better multimedia device when it comes to tablets. I know a lot of people are excited about the new mini LEDs on the iPads, but Android has had OLED since the beginning, which not only has the benefit of mini LEDs, but also has way better battery life than the mini LEDs iPads. So that's going to be the biggest thing that I think you're going to get from this is extremely long battery life, but also a huge OLED display that's going to look really good. Will it look as bright as the iPad? Probably not. You're probably still going to get the 1,000+ nits, but you're probably not going to get about the 1600 nits that iPads and traditional mini LEDs can give you. So really good overall in terms of it, but I'm very curious to see what you guys are thinking. I don't know which way I'm going to go with this tablet. I'm very happy with the 12-inch tablet. I haven't had any issues with it. 14.6 is very, very interesting prospect. I would obviously be trading in my tablet because I guarantee you this is going to be hitting that $1,000 price range, and I don't know how many people would want to get it for that price range. Now, with that price range, it has a very interesting aspect because the keyboard could essentially be a full-size keyboard the first time ever on a tablet. Like, you could have a number keypad on this tablet keyboard, essentially. So there's a lot of interesting things that this could bring about because of how big it is. But very curious to see how it will go, how it will be. Let me know what you guys think. Also, they're supposedly going to have a new case to go along with it that will also give you that viewing pad tent style that usually laptops give you. So again, a very interesting curiosity on how that's going to happen exactly with this big of a device. Let me know what you guys think, but it's a very, very interesting prospect to have. Definitely something we were not expecting, and we did not hear about it all till this past week, that there would be an Ultra version. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. All right. Now, in the next bit of news, we had huge leaks on the new Sony headphones. And this has been the kind of week to release for the headphones. We had the Beats possibly leaked by LeBron. And these ones, though, are just really, really good looking. And I'm very curious to see how they work. I really did love my Sony M4s that I have for here for the noise canceling. And I would definitely check these out, especially because the Sonys have been always the pair that I've never tested when it comes to earbuds, in my personal opinion, especially when it comes to Android, but overall as well. The 85Ts from Jabra are still the best earbuds out there. So these, competing against them and having the great quality that I know Sony has because of their over-ear headphones, definitely gets me interested in that. So very curious to see how these will go. We have them leaked in different colors as well. The casing looks nice and compact, but I just like that style. It just has a very sleek style to it that I think really stands out. And not only has this leaked itself, but now also we have a video that has leaked. I'm not going to show it obviously so we don't get flagged, but it is a full 2-minute video kind of highlighting all the features and basically active noise canceling, really good speaker, adaptive things. Like, one thing I don't like actually, but it has it, is speak to chat, which basically means when you start talking, it automatically mutes because it thinks you're talking to someone else. The problem with that is that sometimes I'm just like, oh, okay, so I'm going to change this. And if I say that out loud, it automatically mutes. Or if I laugh too hard, it automatically mutes. So I do not like that feature when watching things. It's something that I automatically turn off now on my Sony headphones, but it's something that is going to be available for this. Also, high-res audio is what these promise very much so. So again, I'm very curious to see, and I'm very curious to see how the noise canceling on the microphone really works more than anything else. All right, now the other tablet that was made official this week was the Galaxy Tab S7 FE. Now, we do not have the pricing for it, so that's the biggest thing we don't have. Again, I expect it to be around anywhere between $400 and $500. We'll have to wait and see if I'm right. But I like this comparison, and I wanted to check it out on hardware versus the Tab S6, because that's a very interesting prospect. You have the best tablet of 2019, actually. I was going to say 2020, but Tab S7 came out last year. So of 2019 versus the new one basically that's supposed to be the mid-range for this year. So competing those two, you do have a difference in overall aspect. With the biggest thing I will say is that, remember, with this one, you are getting an AMOLED display. The big thing about this one, though, for the FE, is it's a 12.4-inch display. That is really impressive because, again, we haven't had a budget bigger screen tablet for a while. So I am very happy with that aspect of it. I'm not as crazy about the fact that we aren't getting an OLED display on this. I really wish there was. I know they're trying to budget it, but that's just one thing that I really wish we would have a cheaper OLED tablet. That is really the benefit of getting an old high-end either Tab S4 or Tab S5e or Tab S6 is that you get an OLED tablet for a less expensive price. Overall, though, in terms of RAM, this is going to take a downgrade from, again, the higher end model. So it's going to be 4 gigs instead of 6 and 8 gigs instead of 6 as well on the higher storage. But since it is a bigger display, the biggest thing is that you are going to have a bigger battery. And this is substantially bigger. It is going to have a TIFF display, so you have to remember LCDs or mini LEDs do not save or not as battery efficient as an AMOLED display. So this is going to burn through your battery a bit quicker in comparison. So it'd be curious to see how that goes. The cameras are a downgrade, but no one cares about that unless you're talking about the front camera. So overall, I think the Tab S7 FE, it really will boil down to the price point. We should be getting that next month in terms of price point. So very curious to see how it will go. But that's just one of the biggest things that I really kind of wanted to highlight is, are you better off getting an old Tab S6? It's an OLED display and it's going to be faster in terms of the processor, in terms of the RAM, in terms of the storage. But the Tab S7 FE, if it is a good price point, is going to give you a bigger screen and a bigger battery. So those are going to be, again, what you depend on getting. Also, obviously, the Tab S7 FE will probably get longer software updates compared to the Tab S6 at this point as well. All right, I thought this was a very interesting thing. So Apple, released their iPad Pro, and this was the first time in 2021 that this model actually got 16 gigs of RAM. So it was really a huge step up in the RAM department, especially because Apple's never been that much into RAM. That changed last year as they kind of started getting more and more, and then this year we got all the way up to 16. Curious enough, this actually has more RAM now than even the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra plans on having, which is 12 gigs of RAM. But what Apple has done, though, is it's limiting any app developers to a 5 gig of RAM memory. They're not letting anyone take more than that, which is fine. I mean, I think this is, very smart in terms of control, actually. You don't want it going crazy like something like Chrome, which will take more than that if you let it. So I do overall think this is a good decision for developers to have a limit. But I just thought it was something important to point out, definitely, in terms of there is a limit to the RAM that Apple is allowing for. All right, and then I do like to talk about a few electric vehicles just because I really do see that as smart tech. But I have to say, I have never been a truck person. But the Ford F-150 Lightning, which is their new electric vehicle, is really impressive for a lot of smart tech enthusiasts. It has a lot of wall outlets. It has wall outlets in the front, which is a basically full-size trunk that you get on the front of the car. It has wall outlets in the middle of the car. It has wall outlets at the end of the truck actual bay. And the thing is about this, it even has a board that will come up and effectively be a desk for you to actually use your full laptop or tablet or whatever on, or even eat while you watch something on a tablet. So it's really impressive, all the technology that this is involved in, and the capacity of the driving range is really huge. While it's labeled for around 300 or so, it actually is labeled at 300 with 1,000 pounds of haul. So if you're not using 1,000 pounds of haul, it really, really is impressive because it looks like it will be closer to the high 400s, close to 500 range of miles. Just to give you an idea, I have a very low cost electric car and it has 125 miles of electric range. So mine is definitely a commuter. With this kind of range, I could basically go to Las Vegas from LA and back, no problem. So that is really, or going there and then charging and then coming back, to be fair. But that's really a cool aspect of this. And I just wanted to highlight that because I thought it was really cool. If you haven't checked out MKBHD's video on it, definitely recommend you check that video out because it really shows you the cool factor of the ability of electric vehicles. I always say that, again, I was all into like the Mustang V8s, all that kind of stuff as a kid and teenager. But man, there is nothing like the throttle an electric car gets. Mine isn't the fastest either, of course, but I can outgun every muscle car on the freeway I've ever seen. We both, I hear they hit the engine, I just slam on the gas, and I always can cut them off because my car is just faster. So it's a really cool aspect to see even trucks getting this. I'm very excited as a family person to see SUVs really get into this over the next few years. So it's just something I wanted to kind of go on because it's just, I feel like once most people test drive one, it's something that there is nothing like the throttle of that. Nothing. So yeah. And I've been in nitrous cars. This car is, it's so good. All right. Speaking of extremely fast things, Xiaomi is going to destroy your battery in 3 months. Basically, Xiaomi has released a 200-watt wired charger for their devices and a 120-watt wireless charger, which, just to give you an idea, you can charge 50%, not in 30 minutes, not in 20 minutes, not even in 10 minutes. In 3 minutes, you can charge 50%. That is straight up craziness. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It takes, but basically you can warm up, you can cook some popcorn and your phone is charged. That's insane. Like, it's just insane. 100% in 8 minutes. I think it's really great. It's really cool that Xiaomi is pushing the bar this far. I will say this though, that I do not believe that we are going to get the best kind of battery life from this, just because it's insane. It's insane to have your battery go through that quick of a charge and not expect it to damage it. It was funny because one company I think did this very well this year was Asus, I believe, was the one that did it, where they have 2 USBs that charge 2 different batteries inside. That is very smart because that way you can actually charge faster. I think phones like the Galaxy Fold as well as the Galaxy Flip should adopt that actually. Have 2 wired chargers, charge both batteries separately, enable that ability, and just for an even quicker charge. I think that's a great idea that is something that with foldable phones specifically could be tapped into. Not only that, but if you have been keeping up with the news, we also have seen over the past week or so that there is a new USB 200 watt that is going to be in effect for gaming laptops. So a new type of USB Type-C, sorry, will be in effect to charge gaming laptops without needing a huge power brick like the one I have on my laptop. That is something that I will guarantee you next year when that comes out, I will upgrade my laptop, because that is the one thing I hate about my laptop is I need a huge proprietary charger instead of just having a nice small compact USB-C to be able to charge everything. This is something I'm looking forward to a lot. As soon as we get it, I will definitely be covering it. Alright guys, that was the news for this week. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what questions you have, and I will be answering them before the end of the show. YouTube Tech Guy merch. Get in the link. How does Keurig not sponsor me? I swear. I know I'm not James Corden, but, you know, I could out-coffee that guy. All right, let's get to it. The tablet will be thin, hopefully not so thin that it breaks or bend. Absolutely, that is the huge problem with having a tablet that thin, is the possibility of it bending or breaking. That is a huge problematic thing that I think we really need to hopefully fix for sure. What is a good portable battery bank? I know a lot of them went off sale because I did have a lot of them in our tech deals. If you guys don't know, of course, YouTubeTechGuide.com. We have weekly tech deals. They're posted every week. But I think a lot of them went off sale last week. Now tomorrow I am expecting some really big sales, so make sure to check out our tech deals tomorrow because those sales should be huge. You are going to see a lot of big sales, so I will look out. I will put that in my notes to make sure to check out a power bank for tomorrow to make sure that we get that covered for you. So let me see if I can actually find one for you right now. So I have gotten a lot of different power banks over the years. The main thing you always want to see is what are you trying to charge from it? Are you trying to charge, a phone? Are you trying to charge a laptop? Are you trying to charge a computer, a tablet? What are you trying to charge? Because that's a big thing. For instance, I have a power bank that I actually connect to my whole camera setup back here that actually has a wall plug. So I actually use it to make my camera portable with battery. So I never run out of battery with that. So that's a really cool aspect that I can go like a month without recharging that power bank and it charges my camera whenever I film. So that's a really big aspect that definitely is a really good one. But yeah, just PD power bank. So let's see what's on sale. 18 watt, nah. Unfortunately, there's not a lot on sale. Like, this is a pretty good one, but it's definitely gone on sale before, so I would personally hold off. But this one is a $50 for a 20,000 milliamp bank. But the big part about it is it charges 60 watts. So that will charge basically any 13-inch laptop and under, no problem. So that one is a really good one to go for that aspect of it. So if you're trying to, charge a laptop, that is a really good one to use for that purpose. But yeah, definitely gonna check it out once we get to it in terms of tomorrow. So make sure to watch tomorrow's daily tech deals, and we will find the best power banks on sale. All right. Good evening from Lakeland, Florida. Good evening, Kevin. The tablet keyboard is going to be different. So yeah, I mean, it has the ability to, right? So this has been the best, bar none, keyboard that I have ever used for a tablet by far. Like, the keys have good travel for them and you can use them for a long period. The trackpad is a nice and big trackpad you can use very easily. The function keys are the only thing, like, Samsung needs to get away from a function button and just put media keys at the top. Functions should only be, like, no one really uses F1, F2 on Android, and they have to realize that. They should just have these multimedia keys, but you can't press these multimedia keys by default. You have to hold down function and then use them. So that's a really kind of backwards thinking that that Samsung does need to change on their next one. I would really recommend. But yeah, I mean, if you look at how much space this one has, you're gonna have this much space. So you really have the ability to have a numpad or something else on there for it. So I'm very curious to see what they come up with. And that trackpad better be huge. Like, it has a lot of abilities that it could add to it. But this is the first, and you can see all my past videos. I have said that I would never use a keyboard case for Samsung tablets that were 10.5 and under, just because it always felt like you were typing like this, and it just never felt comfortable. This one is the first one I could type pretty much normal, and it's really easily for that purpose. The specific on the S22 Ultra, big round camera to the camera on the S21 Ultra, hope different. Yes, it supposedly is going to be a much bigger sensor next year. So we'll have to wait to see which sensor Samsung puts on there, because obviously they do have that 200 megapixel camera instead of the 108 one they have right now. So obviously we don't know if that will be on there, but huge sensors that Samsung could be putting on next year's model. We'll have to wait and see though. When will they merge the Note and the S line phone? It's very interesting because as of right now, that isn't expected to happen. The president of Samsung North America did already confirm there would be no Note in 2021, but there will be a return of the Note in 2022. He blamed it on the chip shortage that was occurring this year, but that's the big thing that you definitely will see next year is you will see the return of the Note. So I don't foresee emerging, at least as of yet. I think they tried to do that with this phone having an Ultra with an S Pen that you can use. But I would definitely say that the S Pen with it was not as successful as they probably thought it would be. This is a stupid question, but why do we need cameras on... Why do we need 4 cameras on the A71 5G? Are the purpose that you could do a video on all of the cameras? Thank you, great show. So why do you need multiple cameras on any phone, really? Unfortunately, it has become a trend that, you know, it was, oh, triple camera setup, then it was quad camera setup, then it was, you know, it's all these penta camera setup. So it's all these different aspects that came out over the last 2 years that more cameras were better. There has been a lot of pushback against it though. So since the A70, A71 from last year, and A72 from this year, there's been a lot of pushback. So I don't know how much we're going to continue to see that, because macro cameras have been laughed at. Depth cameras have been laughed at. Black and white cameras have been laughed at. Monochrome cameras have been laughed at. They're basically being called out by a lot of tech people saying these cameras are worthless. So that is something that, you know, is a really big deal, because again, if they don't serve a purpose and they're more of a marketing thing, you're not getting a return on investment anymore. And the reason people choose to do these cameras instead of like a telephoto, like a lot of these phones will have a wide and ultra wide, but they actually won't have a telephoto camera. They'll have a depth camera, they'll have a monochrome camera, they'll have all these different ones, but they won't have a telephoto because that one costs more in comparison. That lens might cost them, you know, $5, where a depth camera might cost them 50 cents. So they won't do that because per phone it'll save them so much money. So yeah, so that's why they have all these cameras on there. Is the purpose that you could do a video on all of these cameras? No. For the newer Samsung flagships that have director's view, which is coming to a few of them, I don't know. I know the A72 will probably have it. I don't know if the A71 will get it eventually. But director's view allows you to film with all 3 cameras basically at different times, so you can switch between them if you want. So that is an ability you can do with that one. Whoa, a bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. Thank you, James, for the for the membership. I really do appreciate it. And yes, we will be having some membership videos very shortly. So thank you guys for joining for sure. So yeah, Keurig sponsor, YouTube Tech Guy. Yes. still looking for a good PC to play games. I will check out this week. Warren, remind me, were you looking for a laptop or a desktop? Let me know which one you were looking for, and I'll add that to our list for this week. So right now we got power banks, and we got power banks and gaming computers. Again, let me know anything else you guys are looking for tomorrow's deals, and I'll look those up. I'll make sure that we get at least one or two of them in tomorrow's video. All right. Let's see. I think Amazon should sponsor YouTube Tech Deals videos since he shows deals on there. I do show deals on there, but I also show deals for lots of different ones, from Newegg to eBay. I have a lot of deals I show on eBay. Best Buy, all of those I show different deals for as well. But I have checked, and definitely it really always comes from you guys that, like, I see more clicks on Amazon than on the Best Buy than on the eBay. So I do if say Adobe Elements, that one's come up multiple times on sale. If Best Buy has that on sale and Amazon has that on sale, I will do the Amazon link because you guys tend to click Amazon more, which again makes sense. It's easier. So that's why I do have Amazon there. But yes, I would love to be sponsored by Amazon. Hey, Mullet Baby, with our breaking news. Of course, Mullet Baby always gives us the best news from Samsung, the inside track news. For the S8 Ultra, the 14.6 keyboard will be more Microsoft Surface aesthetics, but the price will be premium. Interesting, because I think this keyboard was 150 or 160, I forget. So yeah, very curious to see what the price point of the new keyboard would be. Are we talking like $200? Because I mean, the keyboards I feel are already pretty big for sure. I do apologize if you guys do hear any noises. I have some neighbors that are having a party outside right now. All right. And we did miss one question here. What do you think of the Fold 3 leaks so far? Are you getting it this year are getting this year as it comes with a pen, a stronger screen? What features aside from the camera are you really excited about? Unfortunately, I am not excited about the Galaxy Fold 3. I've made that clear since we found out we're getting the triple 12 megapixel cameras that you can find on last year's Galaxy S20 FE. I don't have any interest. I'm sorry. If I can get the same cameras that I can get on a $400 smartphone, what would interest me in this? Like, it really, really was the final straw for me that happened. The fact that the S Pen is most likely not going to be built in is another aspect that I do not like, because this is not as good as basically just having the pen built in. It's just not as good. So I really don't like that aspect of it. I do think that Samsung will absolutely miss their goal of foldable selling devices this year. The only thing that could save them is actually the Flip 3. The Flip 3, I think, is more and more intriguing because of the lower price. And yes, it still will have those 12 megapixel cameras, but it's a lower price, and that is what we need. So yeah, I am not looking forward to the Fold 3. Will I buy it to cover on this channel? Yes. Will I also return it? Probably, or sell it. I do not have the enthusiasm that I should have for the Galaxy Fold 3 because of the camera letdown. Yeah, it is going to have a under display front camera, and that will make it look cool, but it's just not going to measure up in comparison. Hey, thank you so much, Biggs, for joining the Tech Club membership. And Paul, thank you so much for your super chat donation. Thank you guys. It really does help every time you guys do donate. I appreciate that. And thank you for the memberships. I really do appreciate it. Let's see what else. I'm on my second S21 Plus. The fingerprints sensor is hit or miss. Is this common? Um, First thing I have to say is, do you have a glass screen protector on there or a plastic screen protector on there? Because I will say that it does kind of affect it more so, I will say. But yeah, I think overall the fingerprint display, the fingerprint in screen is not as good as some others on Samsung, and I'm just being honest with that. It has gotten better, but I still think if you put a screen protector on there, which I always do, it definitely loses some of that quickness and accuracy every time. I definitely recommend when you do put in the fingerprint display, put it like one finger like this, and then the second finger put like this, like kind of all around. That way you get it pretty much all the time. After at least 1 to 2 tries, it will get it. So yeah, that's my recommendation, to make sure you get it more often. I know I saw a question, but I think I missed it. Will I be watching WWDC? I think was the question. Yes, I will. So WWDC, when it comes, which actually is it pretty soon? That is, I know it's in June. June 7th, so next Monday. Yes, we will be covering it next Monday. Although I do feel like I have something on that day, just off the top of my head. Felt like there was some appointment that I had. The appointment's in the afternoon. So yes, I will definitely be live tuning WWDC, and hopefully, although it's Apple, so I doubt it, they'll get to the point quicker than Google did. Because, I mean, what was it? It was like after an hour of fluff that Google finally got to the point. So hopefully they'll do that much quicker with WWDC. But it's Apple, so we'll see. What are your thoughts on the new Venom and Snake Eyes movie? I'm not the biggest Snake Eyes fan of G.I. Joe. Like, I never got into it as much. The trailer looked cool. Venom, I just don't know. I'm not a person that really loved the previous Venom movie. I thought it was very 90s action movie that wasn't as good as it could have been. So it's very much, I think I'm Carnage is such a favorite of mine. I long to see Carnage for a long time, but it depends on what we get from it. Speaking of movies, though, I will say, if you have not seen Cruella, I thought it was a really good movie. It lingered on a bit. They definitely could have cut at least 15 to 20 minutes, I think, off the film, because you got really, and a lot of people have said this, you got like 3 films in one. You got like a heist movie in there. You got like a character, tragedy thing. And you got like these montages that were really good, really well done. So yeah, but that's just one thing. I definitely, I saw Cruella on a Friday, and I thought that was really such a good movie. I've not seen A Quiet Place 2, just because I'm not ready to go back to the theaters just quite yet. I'll probably be going back at the end of June, maybe in time for Fast and Furious 9, but definitely for Black Widow. And then we'll start doing some of the movie reviews again as well for that. What do you think about the new Pixel coming out? Are you happy Samsung is making it? Yeah, I do think that Samsung making it will definitely give more quality control that we've seen in Pixels. I mean, with the Pixel 1 and 2 and some of the Nexuses, we saw some issues because of LG making the display and different things like that. So I definitely think that we could see something really good come out of it. So I'm very excited for that. I definitely want to see what Google can do with a bigger sensor, which this phone is supposed to have. So I'm super excited for that, and very curious to see what their Whitechapel processor brings. Like, it is some pretty exciting stuff that a partnership with Samsung and Google can bring, and it's long overdue. I mean, you're talking about the best hardware manufacturer in the industry. And don't say anything about Apple because they don't make their own hardware. So you're talking about the best Apple maker, physical maker in the industry, which is Samsung. Along with the best, I believe, software maker anywhere out there, which is Google, finally really coming together to make a new Pixel 6. I think you're going to see some amazing stuff, and I can't wait for it. So yeah. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. All right. Mini keyboards for a streaming box. I'm not sure what you meant by that one. Or is that what you want to see? Mini keyboards. You know, for keyboards, this is an old one, but I love this one. I still have it over here, just because I keep it on my desk. This is a Razer Turret, which it's, you know, nice, beautiful keyboard. And then, bam, it has this big old mouse pad that this one goes on. It doesn't, it's kind of like it stays on there, but it will fall if you tilt it all the way down. But it really kind of like, it can be at an angle and then still stay. Really awesome keyboard. So this was the Razer Turret. It was a while back when they made it, but I still love this one, and it's still good. It has a docking station that you put it on, like so, and it's just perfect. I think this is such a good one. It is older, so it has a proprietary plug instead of like a Type-C that you could probably get nowadays, but that is probably one of the best keyboard that I would recommend off the top of my head right away. But I'll search for some other ones. We'll add that to the list. All right. Let's see, what else do we have today? What about Google Photos? What another alternative or pay for services? So again, I mean, when people ask me, would I still pay for Google Photos even after this? Yeah, I would. I honestly would, just because what Google Photos has that no one else has is the best organization and search functionality for all of your photos. That is the biggest thing that Google Photos offers over everyone else in the industry. They're better at it. So I am looking into alternatives. I have a Plex server, a NAS hard drive that is plugged up right now in the back over there. Over there. So that is one thing I'm testing out. I'm seeing how easily you can back up your photos from it and videos from it. So I will let you guys know how that goes. But it's not going to have the same organizational abilities that Google Photos has. So are there alternatives? Definitely. How good are they because of not only the storage, because the storage is easy. I think you can have a lot of different storage alternatives to Google Photos. What makes Google Photos better, though, is their organization, their ability to animate things, all these different things they do with your photos. I think is very much so the key of why they're so good over most alternatives. But definitely I will be doing an alternatives video this week on Google Photos. Thanks, Ricky. Did you get another main job yet? No, I haven't. Yeah, gotten some calls, but that's about it. So no, I have not gotten a main job yet. So still just doing as much YouTube as I can. As well as doing other things. I'm trying to do this drop shipping thing. I really tried a lot this week. That's why there was a little less video. But struggled a little bit on it. So we'll see how it goes. Ricky's excitement for the fold has folded. Yes, definitely I would fold in a game of cards right now for this. What do you think? Is there going on another big Star Wars movie? When do I think there's going to be? I don't think there's going to be another big Star Wars movie till maybe 2023. I would say is probably the closest one. We'll see. I don't think they need it right now. I think their TV shows are going to dominate this year and next year, and then I think they'll intro a new movie eventually after that. Let's see. Ricky, great show. good wireless headphones for Microsoft Teams? I mean, the best ones would be the. Oh, I think they're too far down, but the Jabra. I think the Evolve 2. So the Evolve 2 series, I think, is going to be your best bet for headphones, for especially for Teams, because they actually have like a Teams button on there. I'm trying to find it, but there's the 85. So yeah, they're a little expensive, I would say. Let's see if the Teams version is cheaper. So the unified communication one is actually cheaper than the Teams one right now, but basically this one is probably your best bet for Teams. It's the Jabra 65T. This has a noise canceling because it has a boom mic that actually goes down. This has the best noise canceling you could have on a mic. You could basically be at a Starbucks and talk on it no problem, and no one will know you're at a Starbucks. There will be no background noise. So yeah, that's probably the best one overall for video chats in general. Cruella looks like 101 Dalmatian Harley Quinn. It really is, but it's actually cool. It really is like a cool aspect to it. Not I mean, Harley Quinn actually tries to be cool, but yeah, no, it's definitely something that's interesting for sure. What do you think about Fuchsia being on? What do you think about Fuchsia being on the Nest Hub that was released? I saw that. I've not checked if mine is yet. I don't get the point of that. It was literally, I think, just a beta test, basically. But yeah, if you haven't heard, Fuchsia OS, the OS we've been waiting for that's going to replace Android and Chrome, was released on the Nest Hub. Like, it is, I think, literally just so if you want to test out Fuchsia as a developer, you now have a device that is easily accessible that you can buy that's under $50 that you can get. But other than that, there's no point of it for sure. When will 51st Day Questions be available in Iron Man Friday OS? Yes, that's not going to be available soon. Friday is good, but she's no Vision. Or sorry, not Vision. Oh God, Jarvis. There you go. All right, what he's talking about is, of course, the shameless plug. Thank you, Quiet Storm, reminding me. 51st Date Questions is the app that I made. If you do go ahead and download it, it definitely helps us out on the channel. 51st Date Questions is a fun game to play on a first date night or on just a regular date night with your significant other after a long period of time or a short period of time. It's a great time killer and great icebreaker for a first date to find out if you two are really compatible, and even after all these years, if you still are. 51st Date Questions, links in the description down below for iOS and Android. That was my shameless plug. All right. Think you missed my comment before. Desktop i5 and i7 with good graphics card. Thanks. Yeah, I got it. Desktop gaming PC basically with an i5 or i7. Mainly good graphics cards, which you want to make sure to get on there. I will check out. Although again, you know, desktops are harder to get right now with a good graphics card than a laptop is, just because of the shortage that is not going away this year. It's not going away till next year. So yeah, they're not going to catch up. You have the best tech bar none. Love it. I have to repeat it. Thank you so much, Paul, for that. Is the Note S Pen cell phone really over? No. The Note is going to be coming out next year. Talked about this earlier in the show, but the president of Samsung North America declared that the Note would not be coming out this year. They blamed it on the chip shortage. It will be coming out next year. There you go. Next to Rigsby, Jarvis is the best. Exactly. Second best for sure. All right, guys. Let me know any other questions. We are going to be finishing a hard time at 9 p.m. just because everyone else wants to use the internet in the house, and I want to be fair to everyone in the house. So get those last minute questions fired up and we will answer them. I have a lot of cool stuff coming, including this week, June 2nd, will mark a full month with me using that helium. If you haven't checked out our video yet for helium, definitely check it out. How you can make passive income. You will not be getting these devices till the fall. They are sold out and they are back ordered like crazy. But just to give you a preview, just to give you a preview, again, a full month will be June 2nd. That's how much I've made so far. So, yeah, some pretty awesome capabilities and great investments. If you haven't checked out that video, definitely check it out. But June 2nd, I'll be giving a full recap, things that I saw, things that I've seen. And by the way, I did get my second device recently. I ordered it back in early March. Finally got it this week. And yes, that's how long these have been back ordered. So definitely something that I would recommend go ahead and check out because definitely some capabilities there, and I can't wait. Like I'm gonna get more of these and spread them out over like my family's places, just because yeah, they make a lot of money. So yeah. When is the promo video for Rigsby coming out? I don't know if the world is ready to see that yet. I mean, I don't want to break the internet. I mean, a lot of people have tried to do that, but no one's quite succeeded. Rigsby would definitely break the internet, so I don't know if we're ready for a trailer or promo video for it just yet. Just yet. Um, uh, Speaker on the other side of the internet, Xander Meets World. Thank you for always mentioning that Quiet Storm. I promised I wouldn't be mentioning it that much, but I have a new kids video channel called Xander Meets World. Quiet Storm put it in the chat. If you can subscribe to it, it really helps me out. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before 6 months, so we can make sure to definitely get that monetized. So again, hopefully I get more revenue while I do not have a full-time job on the side. I hope they redesign the S Pen on the Note next year. I do too. Well, I'm really curious to see what the S Pen Pro will look like. That's going to come out still before the end of this, before the fall, basically. So very curious to see how that will look for sure. All right, guys. I think we will wrap that up and call it a show. Thank you guys so much for always watching and tuning in. Before you do leave, please have a like, thumbs up before you head out. It really does help out the channel. And thank you again always so much for watching. Alright guys, thank you again as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect